Mind Gap Podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Mind Gap Podcast. I'm Doug.
I'm Justin, and we are super excited to have you here tonight for another episode of our favorite show, which is our show. And that's how we do it. Doug,
Flexing my pecs. Flexing my pecs to get pumped. You gotta get the pump on. Pump it.
Did you have a good workout today? Sounds like
yeah.
you did.
Actually, I did. I did back today. And it was like,
Nice.
yeah. I would say
Working
it was...
them lats and
yeah,
them
I was
traps.
doing some deadlifts, which are some of my least favorite lifts.
Yeah.
They're up there with squats. I don't like them.
Why?
Just not something I get excited to do, honestly. I'm like, oh, good, deadlifts today. Yay. Yippee skippy. I don't really enjoy them. I don't feel like I'm getting everything out of them that I should.
I don't believe that I'm doing them correctly.
Yeah,
I have double checked and triple checked myself, and I'm following the form as closely as I can. And I every time I'm like, I feel like I should be feeling more of something or less of something, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah. And I also just like it's hard for me to grip onto the bar.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy that. I feel like it's more of like a testament to like my forearm strength and whether or not I can hang onto the bar as I do it, and less about my back, which I find really obnoxious.
Have you ever done in any of your they do it in the hit hurt stuff, but I don't know if they do it in the weightlifting one. They're called RDLs, where like you basically hold it with like you hold a dumbbell with, let's say, your left hand, and I can't remember if it's I think you hold it with your left hand. And you plant your you stand with both legs on the ground, and you slowly lower forward while your left leg comes up, and you hinge forward just on one leg. And then so it's almost like your hips acting like a fulcrum point.
Yeah. And
then you do RDLs right and RDLs left. And I could just Google it, but it's way more fun to discuss it because I have no idea what I'm working out. When I do that, I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing right now. And I feel like it's just center punking me.
Yeah, I always feel sometimes with deadlifts, I'm working more of my legs than my back. And I don't think that's the way it should be done.
Right.
So, and I'm just like, whatever, we'll just do this. I'm not aiming to deadlift 500 pounds. I'm just like, whatever, I'll do what I got to do. So that was fine. And then I did some chin-ups. I did some lat pull downs. I did some, cable back flies. I did some dumbbell shrugs. Did all sorts of shit today. It was a good workout. I felt pretty good by the time it was done. So, which is good. I did my pecs yesterday,
Yesterday was the front back, and today was the back.
Yes.
And the back
then
front.
Thursdays, the butt.
It's all about the butt.
It's all about the butt. Those glutes, baby. Those juicy glutes,
You work that butt out enough, you could almost make it into a pillow.
Maybe. But before we get into that, I want to stop this segue right in its tracks because I want to do something before I forget.
All right.
So, by the way, great job with that segue.
Thank you.
And don't worry, we'll get to it, everybody. To quote myself.
We'll get to the butt in a second.
Now here, let me hold on. That's how you use a sound drop. That might have been the most organically, perfectly placed sound drop you've ever done.
Nice.
Well done.
Now I'm going to ruin it.
I'm gonna come.
There it is.
It's because it's my favorite.
And now a heartfelt message.
Now heartfelt message. I'm going to come. This has been a PSA. With that being said, I want to wish one of my oldest friends a happy birthday, Mandie.
Happy birthday, Mandie.
Happy birthday, Mandie. Funny story about Mandie and her birthday.
Let's hear it.
I, for many years, have gotten it wrong. I know the date, like the number date, but I constantly get in my head about the month. And this stretches all the way back to when I was in college. And there was this dude that was really hitting on her big time. And we didn't go to the same school. But this guy, in fact, it was a couple guys thought they could, since I was her good friend, they would reach out to me to get like insight because, they're playing that game. And this one guy was like, hey, when's her birthday? I want to do something nice for her on her birthday. And I was like, oh, it's March, March and the date. And I had set up like, an e-card to go out and everything like that. And then that day came and that guy sent me a sternly worded email. He goes, hey man, I don't know what you're playing at here, but if you're trying to ruin this for me, like it's not cool. And I go, oh my God, I was a month early. I was a whole month early. And I remember emailing her and be like, hey, if you got that card early, it was just a mistake.
That was a glitch.
It was a glitch in the system for whatever reason. So ever since that day, I constantly get in my head about when her birthday actually is.
I love it.
And I constantly messed up. And this year I was like, I'm getting it right. It's on my calendar. I've got it there. I was like, I'm going to make a special note. I'm going to wish her a happy birthday on the podcast day we're recording because that's her actual birthday. So I'm like, I'm going to nail this. And so yesterday, as I'm thinking about the podcast and all that stuff, I call her and I was like, happy birthday. And she's like, thanks. It's tomorrow. And I did it a day early. A whole day early. I called her and wished her a happy birthday. And in the moment, I just like, if she could have seen me, and I called her. I don't usually call. It's usually just a quick text. So I was like, hey, this is a big one. I'm going to call you. And I was just like, physically, I was like,
just shrinking in your seat.
I was like, I had a plan, and for whatever reason, my brain goes, call her now. When in the middle of doing things, I was like, I'm going to call her now because I was thinking about the podcast, prepping for it. And I was like, podcast, birthday, we're going to call her. And fortunately, Mandie's cool as fuck. And she was like, hey, listen, if you had called me on my birthday, I would have been so busy, I wouldn't be able to talk to you. So actually, this works out. I'm so glad that you called me today so we can actually talk for a little bit. And she goes, also, you're the first one to do it. So congratulations.
You did that. Yeah.
And she goes, in the end, but she goes, hey, never stop getting it wrong because it brings me endless joy. So that made me feel better.
That's fantastic. Do you think the guy from college is still trying to send out? Do you think he's like, ever since then, he's just perpetually, every year he's just guessed another date?
I mean,
I'd like to think so.
I mean, I would, that's one of those things where you probably assume the intention of the other person. They're like, this motherfucker was trying to sabotage me this whole time. And the whole time it was just me going, oops. Oops.
Completely neutral and innocent. Yeah.
It reminded me of like my parents going, why did you do that? I'm like, I don't know. It was an honest, I was a month, because also I remember that she really likes St. Patrick's Day. That was her day. And she likes the color green. So I think I got that confused with March and St. Patrick's Day. So I was just like, it's in March, and it's not. It's in April. And part of me died calling her yesterday and wishing her a happy birthday because I was like, I fucking nailed this. And she's like, it's a day early. And I'm like, God damn it.
I like the idea that every year you still get it wrong. Like, I feel like you know what you need to do in about 4 months. You need to call her again and wish her happy birthday randomly and just say, this is for next year.
Yeah. This was this early, getting it out of the way now,
it was on my mind. I'm sitting with what I did, and I just wanted to call again. Yeah,
and so I texted her today, and I was like, happy birthday again. Just getting it, She goes, oh, good, a second one. Mandie's cool as hell. Mandie, I love you. You're awesome. Happy birthday. Hope you had a great day. And keep being cool. Keep being you. All right? All right, that being said, let's talk about butts. All right? So it came to my attention that in our Discord, which, by the way, you should check it out. Join the Discord, join the conversation, join the club. Link is in the description down below. Seth, our old buddy Seth, sent a link to something. They said, hey, this should be the official pillow of Mind Gap Podcast. And I found it to be very upsetting, but here's what it is. This is called the Buttress Pillow. And as you can see on the website right now, it just says, like, your opening page, it says sleep on a butt.
Sleep on a butt.
Yeah, sleep on a butt. Yeah. And this girl is just cradling her head in the the butt crotch, the butt taint of this thing.
I mean, she's in the position where she would be ripe for a fart in the face.
Yeah, that's not a position. And the thing is, as you look at these pillows, I mean, these are obviously like girls' butts. I mean,
100%, yes.
There's no way.
Look, or it might be a very shapely dude's butt.
It could be.
Some guys I've seen they've got some dumpers on them.
Hey man, I hear you. I mean, there's some dumpers. We're
I'll call
all
out.
here for that.
Next time you're in the same room as Drew Dull, take a look at his gams.
Take a look at those dumps.
Those dumps. Good dumps.
So this is an actual pillow that you can purchase. It says it's ergonomic, functional, and stress relieving. The sweet spot in quotes under the cheeks and on top of the thighs is ergonomically designed to cradle the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I said, I've got a lot of feelings about this. Did you, in your perusing of this site, did you go to the About Us and did you watch the story of the greatest butt maker in the world? No,
I did not get that far in my research.
I did. And
all right, what do you have to report?
I don't like a thing. I don't like a thing about it, Doug. All right,
give us a breakdown of what the video was.
So the video is it starts out with the founder of the butt pillow talking about how he fell in love with a girl named Anna, and he watched her butt grow and grow until it was the perfect size, and he always wanted to have it by his face. And so he ended up just making a pillow that was in the image of her tuchus, and it took off, and now they have 3 different sizes, and you can put it in legging, yoga pants, and they have let's see, if you go to shop, they have spandex undies. They have a thong you can put on it. They have a whole array of different types of pants and things you can do. And it's just the way he was describing how this came about. And at the end of it, he goes, the butt, we over-sexualize the butt in our society, something to that effect. And I'm like, I don't know if that's supposed to be a joke or if he truly thinks that he is desexualizing the butt, but all of his branding is hypersexual. Hyper. Like if you go to the About Us page and just scroll down to the first actual image.
Oof, is this? Oh, I don't like that guy. I don't like the way he looks. Oh, what? Yeah. Right? Yeah.
I mean, don't sit there and tell me that you're not preying on sexuality to market the butt pillow.
It's hilarious.
I would strongly recommend that people go watch this video. Let me put it this way. I'm of two minds. I do not want to give him views. I do not want him to be like, oh my God, all of a sudden 13 people came and watched it. MindGap must have talked about us. But at the same time, I definitely think people should see how creepy this guy actually comes off, because he comes off very creepy in this.
Also, if you go down to the pictures of them, like, what a picture. He's just takes a goofy ass.
Buttress?
Yeah. I love how this guy, Bradford, his title is booty development. It's a picture of him with a little kid. Like, yeah, I mean, come on.
Yeah. That you could have picked a much better picture, first off. Also, he calls out this woman, Anna, and then Anna is nowhere. I feel like Anna should be getting stock options or something. She should be on the board of directors or something. Her picture should be on here. Give her the credit where credit is due. If you're stealing her tuchus likeness.
Well, here's what I got to say, too, is I don't think it is obviously by design that all of these photos are of women sleeping on the butts, because
again, yes,
if this was who it's really for, which is dudes, I'm not saying it's entirely for dudes. I'm sure some women will appreciate this, but I'm saying, in my mind, I don't know what their target demographic is, but I have to assume it's dudes. And if you just sort of, just had all these pictures of dudes laying on butts, this site would get shut down. This site would get flagged. as like, danger zone. Like
again, if you're talking about trying to desexualize the butt, I'm like, this is, again, you're doing it the wrong way. You're obviously not doing it. Go to the gallery. I'm assuming you're still sharing it on our,
of course.
Go to the gallery and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down.
Sorry, I lost track.
My least favorite picture.
So 7 down on the left?
Yep.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh! Someone save her!
Right?
Someone save her! She's in trouble! This poor girl.
Like that's an MMA, like,
right? That's some wrestling shit right there.
Yeah, like they've got her by I just, again, there's one image in of the same model in that About Us video where she is wrapping it around her neck, and I'm like,
dude, go to the one just below it. Go to the one just below it. That's what happens. You're telling me that you're not insinuating that she's gonna eat that butt. Well, not only that, this is a story. Part 1 is above. Part 2 is after she's passed out, like because she's been cut off from oxygen. She's been choked out by the legs. All right, Justin. Scenario.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not sexualizing them. A couple down, there's a girl that's like, look at my butt right next to this butt.
Yeah.
So get the fuck out of here.
With the pink mood lighting? Come on.
Get the fuck out of here. You guys are a bunch of douchebags. Good God. All right.
And again, I can't tell if this is supposed to be like I feel like it has to be a joke. It has to be. There's no way that they can seriously be selling this as like a good idea.
I mean, right? There's worse ideas out there. But
I mean, 100%. There's worse ideas out there. Florida, for example.
Great idea on paper, but goddamn, poorly executed.
And then they've got the butt blog.
Oh my God.
Where they have articles written according to AI. Which butt makes us happy according to AI? And of course, they release these on Wednesdays. It looks like Happy Hump Day.
Why butt pillows? Why not? When we look at a butt, we know we want to be close to it. We know it makes us feel comforted, and we know. Wait, what? When you look at a butt, it makes you feel comforted. What? All right, I don't trust anything about this. Let's check out some reviews. What do we got here?
The review page did not load for me.
It's a nice, comfy butt. Excellent product, great pillow, sleep. All right. Let's see here. A great pillow.
Oh, sorry. Here you go. As you're looking for, do you have some good reviews there? Because
they're all like 5 out of 5 stars.
And that's absolutely friends of friends. So if you go to the butt blog and you go to the real, raw, uncensored origin story revealed, towards the end, we hope that you know that our product isn't supposed to be over-sexualized. It is the natural wonder that we all can't help but love. It is the great unifying force that crosses all boundaries of race, country, gender, and even species. And it's the simple peace and happiness of butts combined with an amazing pillow.
All right.
This is why I'm saying this can't be real. This has to just be one giant fucking joke.
Let's see here. Here's a good review. It's called Racist Butt. Why don't this come in different colors or sizes? What the fuck? My butt doesn't look like that. Canceled. Doesn't work. Nice cards, but when I tried them, I got laughed at and she said no. I got 5 more at least. They got me to make a move. What?
Huh.
Wow.
Is it something in shop? Maybe is there? The golden booty ticket.
Don't like
it. So
it.
they sell something called the golden booty ticket, and on the front you can write the recipient, awarded for, and to redeem.
Ugh. Well, Justin, I also have another surprise for you.
Do you?
Because there is a sister company.
No.
For this, yes.
How did you find this?
Well, you can thank Seth for this.
Oh, thank you, Seth. Oh, wait. I scrolled all the way down to the more intro. And is it booby pillows?
Yes, sir.
I'm just going to click on the link on the website. I'll go ahead and give them metrics for their website.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
So,
I mean, it's exactly as advertised.
If a butt pillow doesn't work for you, if you're looking for something more, please.
Why does the booby pillow need nipples?
Yeah, that's the thing that is really unsettling to me.
I don't like.
Because otherwise, how do you know they're boobs, Justin? You know,
right?
They just could be oddly shaped pillows. You know,
this could be an oddly shaped butt pillow
with dimples. No, those aren't really dimples. Ugh.
Dimples.
Yeah, like, and you can put, all sorts of stuff. You can put like a tank top on it. You can put lingerie on it. You can, just, God. And once again, see now, if you scroll down a little bit more, just to where it says, there you go. Is this product for real? There is a guy that unfortunately looks like Jesse Kendall. It's like there's a dude in it. And
this is on the homepage? Sorry,
yes.
I went to the gallery to see what some of the horrendous marketing was, and I would strongly recommend going there.
So if you scroll down far enough, it says, "Is this product for real?" It says, "Yes, we even have clever product features." And there's a picture of a guy, and he looks very unsettling to me.
Why am I not seeing this?
It's very, very not cool. But
on the booby pillows.
Yes.
Comfortable memory foam, stress relief. The guy reading the magazine. Yeah.
So that guy says to me, to quote, do a Tom Segura joke. This guy shows up to a date in a windowless van and says, "Hey, you want to go out? Well, you're coming."
That is 100%. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. He goes, "Hey, I just got done playing hacky sack. Do you want to sniff my dashiki before we go take a nap on my boob pillows?"
So I love it's like, "Hey, how big are these?" It's like, here's what a basketball looks like. Here's what a volleyball's like. Here's what the boob pillow's like. Jesus Christ. All right. Well, oh my God. Of course, they have a blog. So, what is the perfect boob shape? Jesus Christ. Anyway, all right. Well, you all get the picture.
Wait, I'm sorry. Hold on. There's also another friend. It's called The Titty Shop. TIDDY. We create the best jiggles. Ugh. This is just straight up. You might not be able to show this, Doug.
Yeah, I'm good. I think we made our point here.
What? No. Closing out of that. Nah, that should have been on incognito mode. Are you looking at it?
No, I'm going through the gallery on booby pillows, and some of these photos are just of women. Like, they're not even of the pillows. They're just of women. Like what? What are we doing?
I don't like the rabbit hole we fell down here. So needless to say, if you're looking for a comfortable pillow, go to Macy's and buy a pillow.
Yeah, this one's my favorite right here. It's the booby pillow next to an Xbox controller, because that's obviously who their target demographic is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, so Justin.
Yeah.
You go over to your boss's house for a holiday party for 4th of July. That's right around the corner. And you have to go use the bathroom. And he's like, "Yeah, no big deal. It's upstairs on the left." You go upstairs, you go to the right, and you open up. You're like, "Oh, it's his bedroom." And you see a booty pillow and a booby pillow on the bed. What do you do? What do you think now of your boss as they have these things on their bed? Keep in mind, your boss is married.
Sure.
Maybe has kids. I don't know.
Yeah. I would say the first thing that I would do is I would just kind of scan the floor very briefly to see if there were other pillow related body parts that would make an entire person.
Homunculus.
I'm like, well, we've got two key elements here. Is there more to this? And are they just strewn about? because that can give you a few different red flags, right? It's either he's trying to spoon this, or he's trying to figure out how to cleanly separate someone's body. So I feel like that could give you a lot of intel, on your bus. Also, if I went to the bathroom then and there was nothing but straight razors in his medicine cabinet, that would also probably be a red flag.
Okay.
Especially because he's got a thick beard and he has no need for those razors.
There you go.
Yeah.
Second question. You do an investigation check on said pillows, all right?
Yeah.
What section of these pillows, there's a section of these pillows that are worn down or look like they've gotten, used is not the right word I'm looking for, but you determine that there's a section of these where there's just been a lot of action,
Mm-hmm.
They've laid it, what would be most alarming to you? With the butt, would it be specifically that crotch part just below the butthole?
Yes, it would absolutely be where the quote unquote where the thighs come together.
Yeah.
That would absolutely be, if that was, because we all know what's happening there.
Yeah.
There's no question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be the worst part on that. The boob pillows. I mean,
really anywhere is,
anywhere. It's take your pick. Yeah.
Yeah.
If any part of it is more worn down than any other part of it, we're leaving the party.
Yeah.
I'm going to slowly come downstairs. I'm going to go over to Beth and go, we need to go.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm not here to kink shame anybody or whatever, because this isn't about kink to me. Because listen, there's sex dolls that exist. Go wild. You know what I mean? I think that's what's disturbing, is because this is like a half measure.
Right.
It's just go all in, man. Bet it all on red. Let's just go for it. Okay. Commit.
Yeah.
Because who are we fooling here? Oh, this is great for my ergonomics. You have a pair of stuffed tits and you have a juicy booty pillow. What do you think we're doing?
Right.
And these things aren't cheap, man. The booty pillows, I mean, some of them are under $100, but some of them are $200. This is a significant purchase to get this as a joke. If these were $20, okay, I get it. Whatever. This is hey man, this is memory foam. They're trying to sell this shit as hey man, we want you to be comfortable as you're laying on this butt or these boobies. So because this seems like a half measure, it makes it that much creepier to me that they're just not committed to just sticking with the plan and just listen.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think I would find it just a little bit less creepy if there was just a pair of, it was just the torso with some boobs on it. Just, not a pillow. It's
it'd be more akin to a body pillow at that point, right?
Yeah. If it was just silicone breasts, just fake, sex doll breasts, and it was just the torso, I'd be listen, that's a little less creepy to me because I know why those are there. I get
Doug,
the point.
Click on that, the titty shop.
No, I don't want to do that.
Because if you're looking for that, that's where you're going to find it.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Not after you're boy, should have got incognito on that one. I don't want to go there. So I'm fine.
I agree 100% on that. I feel too, if they were to just, because I think what I have an issue with here is that I can't tell if he's legitimately trying to sell these as an ergonomic, this is a comfortable pillow that will help your neck and it will relax you and all the things. It says booty sleep on soft supportive thighs that support and cradle the neck and head. Relaxation feels great to the touch. Squeeze, lay on, wrap around your neck, and face bury. All natural, 5-star butt. If it's, I feel this has to be this to me. I look at this and I'm oh, someone made a very elaborate gag gift. This is the gift you get someone for a bachelor party, or you know what I mean. This is a gag gift. This is not something that someone. I truly do not believe someone would buy this just for actual comfortable sleep. If you go to your chiropractor and they're I feel your issue.
First thing they say is, I'm not a real doctor. I need to get that out of there. I'm basically a witch doctor, so I prescribe the booty pillow.
I went to the community college and I graduated. I fast tracked it. I did a year and a half. And, based off of my learning at the community college, I'd say that a lot of your neck problems are coming from how you're sleeping. So I'm going to make a strong recommendation that you go to the buttress.pillow.com and you buy yourself a booty pillow.
I thought you said the Butcher's Pillow. I'm like, that's a way worse pillow.
Get the Michaela Murphy Buttress Pillow. All right, you can pre-order it. They specifically, the iconic TikTok and Instagram sensation is teaming up with the Buttress Pillow to bring you her butt. Made of the same soft, comfortable material as our 4.7-star Amazon-rated pillows, comes with our exclusive shiny red undies, stickers, and 1, 2, 3 keychains. That's who the chiropractor is recommending you go with. Support Michaela and her world-famous butt in the best way possible by taking her soft, comfortable, functional, and high-quality booty home. That's the girl who was in that picture that was looking backwards over her shoulder.
Gotcha. Okay.
Don't like anything about it.
Nope.
So, Doug, what would you do? Let me give you the same scenario.
No, real quick. I want to put this out here to the fans and everyone. Should Mind Gap do a butt pillow? Stamp our logo on it. Maybe we do form-fitting, versions of our butts.
Yeah. Would you like to sleep on our butts?
We could just, that's a merchandising idea. What do you think? Get in those comments. Get in our DMs. Hit us up.
Put up on Redbubble.
Right?
Redbubble butt.
Yeah, right. Yeah, mindgappodcast@gmail.com. Hit us up. Discord. Hit us up in the Discord. Let us know. Should we do our butts? That's a quote out of context. Should we do our own butts, Justin? Then I get... You're just Googling, should we do our own butts?
I'm putting it in the potential clip section.
Should you do, a pressing of your butt? I do a pressing of mine, and then we send each other our butts, and then we try each other's butts out.
Should we try each other's butts out? I would say we put a poll up on. I think we need to put a poll and said, do you want to sleep on our butts? Yes or no? And then we take pre-orders. And it's like, all right, how many Dougs and how many Justins do we need? Because our butts are coming for you.
You're coming for our butts. Am I right?
I mean, however it works, it's happening.
Because when we put that out there, what people are going to say.
I'm going to come.
That's what's going to happen,
So, Doug, I want to put it back on you.
Yes.
You're at a party hosted by your boss. You got to I got to go to the toilet. Upstairs to the left, you go upstairs for whatever reason. You turn right, open the door, and on the bed you see the butt pillow and the boob pillow.
Here's the thing. My boss is a lady, so I feel like that seems less awful.
Well, let's hypothetically, it's in the past you have had a male boss.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy.
My current boss is a lady as well. So I was just putting myself in the mindset of this is just some dude you're working for.
Yeah.
Named Trent.
Yeah. Trent Kilroy.
Trent Kilroy.
I would struggle with that because again, I'd rather just see like a couple $1,000, sex doll on the bed dressed in like a nightie versus like, hey, here's this half measure boob pillow and half measure butt pillow. Like, ha, isn't it great? I'm like, you're just one step away from skinning cats. Like, that's kind of the way I look at it. Like, this is, because this isn't going to get you really what you need. This is like a great thing for Doug in 7th and 8th grade. Doug in 7th and 8th grade.
Absolutely. And that when you're turning the corner, yeah.
Dude, the boob pillow, I'd be like, cool, thanks. Thanks for giving me a device to basically, exercise my demons.
Thank you very much. Knock before you enter!
Right? No, enter at your own risk, that's what this is. Teenage boy here, enter at your own risk.
I'm going to go to sleep. He's sure sleeping a lot.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's just... Yeah, it would be pretty insane. An adult male that has these, to say it's a red flag is an understatement.
I would feel, to your point, like if they had, I don't know whether I would feel worried or sad, because I'm like, if my boss had this, I'd be like, are you doing okay financially? Can you not just buy the full thing? Like,
Yeah,
this
right.
is what you're relegated to?
Yeah.
Do you have a bad quarter? What's going on?
Is if you have money for this, you can afford a real woman. They do hourly rates, like.
I'm just saying, or maybe invest better and stop spending money on these things.
Yeah, I would be very concerned
if
that were the case. If I saw this, if it's a single guy, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. If it's a married guy, I'd be like, I don't know, man. I don't know. That would be again. I'm not here to kink shame anybody, but I'm like, just go in, man. Go all in. Don't do half measures.
Just bizarre.
And I don't like these organizations for pretending. You're pretending. You're also doing half measures. You're pretending that, this is ergonomic. No, we all know what this is. We all know what this is.
Right.
Like, people are going to cut holes into these, butt pillows, and they're going to make their dreams come true, We
have a very liberal 30-day return policy so long as there are no holes in our pillows.
Right. How do I wash my pillow? Great question. Machine wash, dry the cover.
Wait. Is that a question?
Yeah, it's part of the frequently asked questions.
Well, yeah, I would assume that's the the most frequently asked question.
If the inner pillow lining needs a wash, use a wet cloth with detergent or a Clorox pen and carefully clean. Do not put entire pillow into washer. You know who that's for. You know what they're saying. Yeah.
Well, I love the first question is, can I have my order discreetly shipped?
Yeah, right. Yes.
I would love it if it just came in bright neon letters that just said, enjoy your butt pillow.
Well, also, it's like, it's not like you're going to be able to like see exactly that this is a butt pillow. Although some people might be like, hey, you got bottom torso in your mailbox there? What's that?
Hey, Jim. Saw you got a little package delivered. How's things going with Meryl?
Yeah.
You guys
everything
all right?
good?
Yeah?
Yeah. Everything good?
Talk about anything? Or?
Yeah. Haven't seen her around in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why is that? He's just like, this specific section reminds me of her because, I buried the rest of her out in the yard.
I think this is the worst, and I'm happy to leave it here.
What, you want to keep going?
No, I'm very happy to leave it at this question, but what can I do with the buttress? In the FAQ section. And the answer is simply a lot.
Ugh.
Slap it, squeeze it, sleep on it, nap on the couch, lounge on it, flipped upside down, support your back, gently caress its cheeks, cuddle it, chill with it, sit on it. Prop your head up on the cheeks to read a book, watch TV, or play video games. Admire it. Smile at it.
Admire it.
Relieve your stress and anxiety. Doesn't go into detail with that one. Bury your face and forget the problems of the world and beyond. Our pillow is a great presence in any room, and you'll love having it around.
Disagree.
So HBO is trying to reboot Harry Potter, Doug.
Yep.
Nice.
So, they're one of many reboots that are coming around that, spoiler alert, make zero sense to me.
Yeah.
So there's a trifecta over here.
Be clear that we're not saying these aren't going to be good. There's a chance that all of these are going to be, holy cow, this is great. I think we're more so asking, why?
Years ago when I worked at the hotel, I think it was maybe Pitchfork or one of those music sites put together a list of the most unnecessary music releases, albums of the year.
Oh, okay.
And one of them was, do you remember the band Everclear?
Yes.
Everclear re-recorded like an entire album. And I used to really love that band. That was my jam. And I listened to it, and it was completely devoid of all the energy, all the fun, everything. Everclear had a couple of like real big bangers. They were like really. This was just like older guys trying to relive the days, but it was just much more mellow and tuned out. It was just like, why did you do this? Like, this is a completely unnecessary album. When I look at these, I feel the same way. So here's what's coming down the pike. So we've got Harry Potter is being rebooted as a TV show on HBO. I'm sorry, soon to be Max.
Thank you.
So you might be asking yourself, oh, cool. Is this a spinoff? No. This is a retelling of the books, but each season will be a book. Now, that part of it I think is cool, right? Because a lot of the big complaints about the movies is we didn't get to see all the stuff. It moved too fast. You know, there's a lot of stuff that got left on the cutting room floor or whatever. And now you get an opportunity to go and see it all. But instead of telling a new story, I mean, let's say this is successful. This means there will be 7 seasons of this show.
Correct.
Where we will see the same shit over again, the same story. And you might be like, hey, Doug, so Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, they're all coming back? No, it's going to be completely recast. New people coming in to play these roles. And this, to me, just seems incredibly lazy. Which isn't the right word, because this was a lot of work to do this. You know what I mean? This would be a lot of work to put this all together. But it seems like a lazy idea of, you know what we ought to do? Let's do the same thing, but longer.
I agree, because book number 4, I always thought that movie, The Goblet of Fire, was easily could have been 2, if not 3 movies. There's so much that happened in that book, so many details, so much. It was such a packed book, and they just fucking rushed through that material. So in that regard, I had that thought of like, well, maybe it'll be cool to see a lot of the stuff that they weren't able to, for whatever reason, pack into the movies. But yeah, we're not, I mean, I guess what are we 20 years past when the movies came out? When did the last movie had to have come out in the 10, 11 range, right?
Let's see here. So the very first movie, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or the Philosopher's Stone, depending on where you are in the world, came out in 2001.
Okay, 2001.
Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 came out in 2011.
Okay, cool. So we're between roughly 10 to 20 years, depending on which side of the. So I just don't feel like we've had enough. We've talked about this. When do reboots happen? We talked about this before. When should you look at what's a good enough amount of time in between when a property ended and when you're going to look at potentially rebooting it for a new audience? And I just feel like this is a very quick turnaround. The actors who played the original cast are still to this day in every interview they do getting asked about that. You know what I mean? Like there's still that little amount of time between it where that's still a question that they're getting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
Very rushed.
This seems like, I think HBO is looking for something substantial to keep people. Like they're looking for something. Absolutely. And they own, or they have the license for Harry Potter, and they're doing their damnedest to get everything that's worth out of it. So I am very unenthused about this. I enjoyed the books. I enjoyed the movies. I have not enjoyed the Fantastic Beast movies. I felt those have just diluted everything and made it less fun, which is saying something, because I look forward to being like, oh, cool, let's learn more about this universe of wizards. And, we're over in America. And, there's all this other stuff, like how cool, how neat. But like most prequels, it's, ruin the originals because the stuff's not accurate as far as how the time goes. We've kind of discussed this, but like, Dumbledore goes from being a hot Jude Law wearing a 3-piece suit to wearing like stars and whatever robes. Like it's so bizarre, the choices that they made for some of this stuff to tell the story that they're telling. And it's weird. They're just trying to, it feels like it's it's a George Lucas thing where they're just jamming, characters into, all this sort of stuff to whatever. It's just it doesn't fit well now as a collective. I'm like, oh, we're doing Star Wars basically, where we just keep adding to it, and the more you add on to it, it becomes more of a Frankenstein, and it's not cool.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, you're not, and that's I would be potentially interested in expanding on the universe going forward, right? Like what happens again, taking the Harry Potter people and putting them aside, and what happens in this world, in this universe. Let's expand out, but we're not even adding to it. We're not even Frankensteining it. We're just retconning everything. Like we're just going back and just starting it again. It's not adding anything to it. It's literally just retelling the goddamn same stories.
Yeah. And I find that
like there is going to be a big backlash because the people, the Potter fans, and a lot of people have, moved on and moved past because of everything that's happening with J.K. Rowling and her political statements and everything that's going on there. But the true hardcore people who still are hardcore Potter fans they are going to riot when they see new people in these roles. I can't imagine any of them. Fandom of that ferocity is rarely logical, and they're not going to take kindly to this.
I feel like a lot of fans have fallen out over J.K. Rowling and the things that she has done, which has made this even worse. Is a lot of people are like, hey man, don't support this shit because she's an executive producer on it. So, right. She will be getting some sort of compensation. So I feel like this is an uphill battle for HBO to pull this off. And yeah, I think it's unnecessary. It's an unnecessary thing that I think, look, I hope it's fun. I mean, listen, I'll probably check it out, when it comes out. I'll be curious,
I will be too. But it's amazing that they're committing to 7 seasons of this thing too, because that's an unheard of commitment. If they are, there has to be something in there where HBO has the permission to pull the plug. I mean, they haven't shied away from that. I mean, the Batgirl movie.
Yeah.
The shit canned an entire movie when it was completely done. All the different things that they've pulled off the network and canceled, and they don't shy away from doing that. But I feel like they have to give themselves an out to be able to pull the plug on this thing if it does not work, because blindly committing to 7 seasons of something that's lunacy in the world of production.
Yeah, it's probably not going to go well.
Yeah,
and then. Coupled with that, just recently as well, freaking Twilight TV series is in development at Lionsgate. I'm just like, I don't know, man. I don't give a shit about any of Twilight. I've never seen any of them. I have no desire to see it, but it's like, Jesus Christ.
And this is the same concept where they're retelling the exact same thing, or they? Well,
it says The new TV series would be based on the books, but it's unclear if the project would be a remake, a sequel, or a new take on the vampire tale altogether. They don't know entirely for sure yet, but they are doing it. It just seems like one company started doing it, and then the rumor got around. They're like, well, shit, we should do that too. And then everyone's like, grab something. What else is popular? Twilight. Well, if they're doing Harry Potter, we got to do Twilight because those were like at odds with each other. Yeah. So we got to do it. We got to remake it.
A bunch of executives running into their kids' rooms and combing through the books on their shelves and going, this one, I've got it.
And they're like, wait, didn't we just make a movie? Like, yeah, but we'll do a TV show and we'll make it longer. Okay.
7 seasons.
I guess.
And then we'll take that and we'll parlay that into a movie.
Yeah. It's like, okay. And then to go along with that, we've got
a theme going.
Dwayne Johnson reveals his plans for a live-action reimagining of Disney's Moana. And listen, I haven't been a huge fan of the live-action remakes of these movies that Disney's been doing. Like, I've seen a couple of them, but also those movies don't hold a lot of sway in my heart. I remember going to see them when I was younger, but not like, oh boy,
yeah,
I gotta go see the live-action Aladdin. I'm just been like, nah, I'm good. Like, I don't need to. I mean, a part of me appreciates the original concept of like, well, what if we took these things and tried to make them, live action. All right.
Sure.
But then it turns into what seems like a very thinly veiled corporate move of like, hey, everyone liked these. Let's just change it around a little bit and we'll re-release it, hopefully to a new generation, which will get them hooked on this. And then so on and so forth, which to some extent I get, right? Like Jungle Book. That's an old ass movie, right? Like we'll do that.
Right. Well, and, I mean, a lot of these, like the Little Mermaid and Aladdin and the what was the other one you just mentioned?
I mean, there's Dumbo. They did one with Dumbo.
Right, but I'm saying even the more like the Aladdin, the Little Mermaid, the Lion King, those are all around the 30-year mark, give or take. And so I feel like I think in the last time we talked
Beauty and the
about
Beast,
how long Beauty and the Beast, I feel like the last time we talked about how long of a break does there need to be? I feel like you and I settled on roughly about a 30-year, because that gives you a solid generational, like you've got a new generation maybe pushing into another like one or two generation gap, and you can reintroduce it to a new set of people. That makes sense. Moana, and again, let's be very clear. Doug and I are both big Dwayne Johnson fans. I like him from a business perspective and the movies he makes. Doug loves Rampage, and so this is not
it, but boy, it's in my movies. I haven't seen it yet.
But it does just feel because this just came out not that many years ago. I mean, we're talking
2016.
2016. There you go. So I just don't understand why this needs to happen. And one thing when Doug and I were talking of Mike is, absolutely understanding the need for representation. So if someone from that part of the world sees it and goes, "Oh, look, I'm seeing." Like the cartoon, first and foremost, was a great bit of representation because it's like, oh, great, I see myself reflected on screen. Now putting actual actors, live action, how much cooler is that? That's fantastic. But I would argue, why not tell a new original story and expand the amount of stories out there that represent this culture? I don't understand why we're going after this specifically feels a little bit more in the vein of a cash grab and a corporate cash grab. And I don't know. It just feels again, like the butt pillow. It just feels wrong. I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, it just seems, again, it's unnecessary. I think the theme of today's show is these are things that are absolutely unnecessary. And I'm kind of annoyed by this. Again, I love Dwayne Johnson. I think he's great, does great work. Moana, great movie, everything like that. But it's not needed. And I'm just trying to think of like, what are you going to gain from this that you can't get from just watching the movie that came out in 2016? It seems like an unusually high financial risk to do something like this. It's like you're going to pour, because this is going to require a lot of money to do this shit. I mean, first of all, the location. That ain't going to be cheap. Probably have to film this in near Hawaii or some shit, and that ain't cheap. And then you're going to have a bunch of CG, and there's fucking ships and stuff like that. Like,
I mean,
there's a goddamn chicken.
Where are we going to get a chicken?
Hey.
I don't think they're going to have any trouble making their money back.
I just said bakak, and I heard Natalie go whack through the wall.
Nice. All in response?
Yep.
Living large.
Darn right.
I don't think he's going to have trouble making money back on this one. Whatever they spend.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I honestly, it depends on how long it takes for this to get out. But I don't know. Again, I'm not a businessman when it comes to this sort of stuff. Personally, I guess all I can apply is my personal things to it. So I'm just like, I have no interest in going to see this.
See, I don't know if I'd go to the theater to see it. Yeah. I do have an interest in seeing it purely to see, like, okay, how close did they stick? Are they kind of trying to make it a little like deviating from the original story, or are they going to stick like almost shot for shot? Is it going to be the Watchmen thing? I don't know. Completely lost my train of thought there. Oh no! As we're both storytellers, as an indie filmmaker, I just the biggest thing for me is there are so many people out there with original ideas. There are so many original ideas from so many different backgrounds and cultures and voices, and it hurts when I see these remake after remake, and you're just like, come on. just original. It's not hard to find original content. It is everywhere. Not all of it's great, but statistically speaking, there's enough of it. There's got to be some diamonds in the rough.
That's a really good point with all of this stuff. Instead of rehashing what we already know, we've already seen, with I would argue with minimal improvements. I haven't seen them, obviously. I don't know, but I'm like, there's some improvement that could be to Harry Potter. There's some storylines and threads and stuff like that were dropped or whatever. And with Moana, I don't know. I feel like you're absolutely right. I would love to see, do a fucking sequel to Moana.
Sure.
Make it live action. I don't give a shit. Tell whatever. Tell more in that world. It's a cool world. Like, it's just there's so many better ways, in my opinion, to spend your time and money with everything. It's like, why do this? It just, again, seems unnecessary to me.
That being said, as we do on this podcast, we both fully reserve the right to walk any of this back when these come out and go, man, we were wrong. That was great.
Absolutely.
Reserve that right. But
I would be more than happy to be wrong about this stuff. One of the things I was really wrong about was the D&D movie. I thought that movie was going to suck ass.
Yeah.
And it did. It was phenomenal. I was like, all right. I was happy to be wrong with that. I would love to be wrong about Harry Potter and be like, holy shit, that show, goddamn, they're fucking killing it. Good for Twilight. I'll never watch it. But, hey, good on you. And this, hey, I would love to see Dwayne Johnson be Maui. God, that would be fucking cool. That's fantastic.
His song, You're Welcome, slaps. Yeah. So am I mad that I'm going to see him perform that? No, I am not mad about that at all.
It's the principle.
It's the principle. Do I think we could have found a story that hasn't been told yet? I think we could have.
Yeah.
I think if we dug our heels in a little bit and looked, I think we could find something.
Yeah, I bet we could find lots of stuff that we could do instead of this stuff. And to me, there's just something disingenuous and insincere about this. It seems like, hey, what do these fucking pigs want? You know what they want? We've fed these pigs before. Let's feed them the same fucking meal. These dirty, dirty, dirty hobos. Let's force feed them some shit, and they'll give us all the money for something that.
Is that your Bob Iger impression?
I don't know. It's whatever these guys are. They're just like, let's just fucking feed them.
Feed
them the stuff that we've already shit out. And we'll just put it back in their mouths, and they'll be like, yes, may I have some more? And like, yeah, eat it up.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got the questions, we got the answers. All you do is ask. Practical, 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 practical. Ask Practical Doug.
Woo! It's that time again. It's time for Ask Practical Doug. If you've never been here for this segment, everyone's excited.
Yeah.
That sounded like hey a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. If you've never been here for an Ask Practical Doug segment, Practical Doug is the small Doug that lives inside Big Doug and helps guide Big Doug on all of life's journeys and through all of life's quagmires and quandaries. If you want to ask Practical Doug a question, you can. If you join us live every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central, you can ask us live on YouTube, youtube.com/MindGapPodcast. On Discord, there's a special channel dedicated just to Ask Practical Doug. You can ask him there or on any social media at MindGapPodcast and then hashtag Ask Practical Doug. We'll do our best to get your question answered. But today's Ask Practical Doug comes from who, Doug?
Comes from the one and only Mandie.
Oh my goodness!
And after I said, and happy birthday again, she's like, I do a practical Doug question for you. And I was like, fire away. So this is Mandie's question. What's your take on people abusing the quote unquote service animals only allowance at businesses? I had a dog on a leash bark and lunge at me at Home Depot last week. It was a big dog and honestly made me a little nervous. A Chihuahua pooped on the floor at Walmart Pharmacy, and there was a lady walking around with her gerbil in a blanket on her chest. Where do you think the line should be drawn, and how do businesses enforce anything without facing backlash and being boycotted, etc.? How do we make sure to keep the folks that truly need service pets and have gone through the correct channels to obtain and train them from being negatively impacted? I was like, what a great fucking question.
That's a legitimately great question. I have a follow-up that I don't know if you know the answer to.
Maybe.
I would love if Mandie knew this and could elaborate. But can you train a gerbil? Is a gerbil a service pet?
How dare you? How dare you even ask that question? How dare you? You're a fucking asshole. We're gonna get canceled over this. You know that, right?
I hope so. This is my way out.
How do we get out of this? We make fun of people who use gerbils as service animals.
I've been trying for years.
Here's the thing. That lady was also in a giant ball with her gerbil, and she was going around the store. So
I don't see a problem with that because that's self-contained. Yeah. No, I mean
that gerbil's dead.
That gerbil, second off, that gerbil is very dead.
That gerbil got squished.
But the serious question though is like what constitutes a service? Because as far as I understood, service animals have to wear, like a dog has to wear the vest that says service animal. After it gets its certification, it gets the vest. You don't touch it, et cetera, et cetera. Do they have vests for gerbils? And I know that sounds like a funny question, but do they? Because there's therapeutic animal or therapy animals.
Yeah. So apparently, I'm at ada.gov. It says frequently asked questions about service animals and the ADA. Okay. Definition of a service animal. What is a service animal? Under the ADA, a service animal is defined as a dog. There you go, gerbil. Get the fuck out of here. That has been individually trained to do work or perform tasks for an individual with a disability. The tasks performed by the dog must be directly related to the person's disability.
All right.
So
to that end, Practical Doug.
Oh, wait, here's another question. Are emotional support, therapy, comfort, or companion animals considered service animals under the ADA? No.
Okay.
These terms are used to describe animals that provide comfort just by being with a person. Because they have not been trained to perform a specific job or task, they do not qualify as service animals under the ADA. However, some state or local governments have laws that allow people to take emotional support animals into public spaces. You have to check with your state and local government agencies to find out about these laws. So that's where it gets a little murky, but I'm glad we defined that. Okay,
cool. So back to the question at hand then. What are your feelings on this? Is there
I love animals, and I am not afflicted in any way by anything that would require me to have whether a therapy or emotional support animal or a dog that would require me to, I would need a dog to help me get through anything. However, with the sort of, listen, we're all in a public space, so we all have to be considerate approach to this. Kind of like if we're all living in a house, listen, I don't care if your room's nasty, but the main areas, the shit areas have to be clean. Like you can't be, finger fucking your butt pillow, on the couch while watching TV when everyone's there. You save that stuff for your room. So for me,
while watching the remake of Harry Potter.
Exactly. Just boop, boop, boop. Dobby is now free.
Master gave Dobby a pillow. Dobby will fuck the pillow.
And then Dobby will be free. Yeah, I like that change. You know what? I take it back. Maybe we should go check out that show. I think this could be cool.
It is going to be on Max. I'm just saying.
Go. I would say, like, speaking to like the original thing, her walking through Home Depot and getting barked at by a large dog, unacceptable. That's unacceptable for someone to bring an animal that is not trained into a facility with other people, because some people are deathly afraid of dogs. Some people are allergic to dogs. So, like, to have an animal like that, I mean, there are people who we've talked about this numerous times. People take their dumbass dogs to dog parks and they are not trained and they cause problems there. Absolutely. And that's acceptable to bring them there. Let alone, I wouldn't bring my goddamn dog to a grocery store. No. It would be a nightmare. She'd be like, new friends everywhere. She would eat whatever food she would find. It would be a fucking disaster. It'd be terrible. if you see a legit service dog, they go through rigorous training. Some dogs are like, hey, you didn't pass, you're just going to be a regular dog. You're not going to have this job because you can't do what's required of you. They have to remain calm. They have to listen to commands. They don't bark at people. They don't lunge at people. They are there to perform a specific task, as we've learned from ADA. Emotional support stuff, I get that. But again, if your animal is not trained to be in a space where they might meet other animals or other people, then I think it's well within anyone's, realm to say, hey, listen, I need to see your paperwork for your animal to verify that it's trained to be here. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think that's out of line to ask someone of that, because to go on with this, Mandie mentioned, years ago at a place that she worked, an employee questioned a dog's credentials because it was barking and nipping at people. Mm-hmm. And this person threatened to take it to the media. So the employee was written up and they were told they were not allowed to question any animals brought into the store.
That's bullshit.
I'm like, ooh, because here's the thing. If that dog bites someone in the store, guess what? The media is going to be all up your ass regardless.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that someone's like, a Chihuahua? I'm sorry, a Chihuahua's not a service dog. No.
Hands down. Chihuahua's not even a dog. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it.
It's an abomination. It doesn't have a soul.
Right.
What dark magic brought that into our world? Yeah, Chihuahuas.
That's a rat that eats kibble.
Chihuahuas notoriously angry creatures. They're like little imps summoned from the 9 hells to do their horrible job. Like they're little shits, man. And to be like, yeah, what's that dog gonna do for you? It's like, what's it gonna fucking do for you? Nothing.
If it's not shaking and scared of everything, it's trying to kill everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I find that absurd. And if someone truly needs a service animal, then they should find an animal that is trained to be wherever they need to be. That is the trade-off.
Animals are invaluable. Like it's amazing that service animals are amazing. It's amazing that we have them, that we have been able to train them to help people live fulfilled lives, and they absolutely need to be. If it is a true service animal and this person does have paperwork for this animal, they need to be allowed in so this person can go on enjoying their life and being with everyone else in society. But the line gets drawn at, is this dog trained? Is this a dog, first off? Because according to the ADA, service animal.
That's the thing, is like, if it's a service animal, it has to be a dog.
Exactly.
Right? And if they're like, if this is an emotional therapy or emotional support creature, well, then it needs to be trained in a way that it will not bother other people. Because while you need that support, and I respect that, you also have to respect everyone else in the public space.
Absolutely.
And if you're not willing to do that, then I'm sorry, you can't go into that space. Like there's got to be a balance with all of this.
In a public space, it's the greater good over the needs of the individual. Like that, yes. that is the unwritten the social rule that we're all abiding by going into public. Mm-hmm. We're all an unspoken agreement, or at least we should be. We've seen plenty of videos where that agreement breaks down very quickly, but we are all in an unspoken agreement where it is the greater good versus the good of the needs of the individual when you're in these public spaces.
I'd even go so far as to say, like, people need to be asked if they have their training documents to be allowed in a public space. It's like, sir,
just people.
Listen, I see you just standing with your cart in the middle of the aisle here. I'm going to need to see your papers to see if you've been trained to be in a retail store. Because from what I'm seeing, you aren't. Oh, you don't have your papers? I'm sorry. You're going to have to get the fuck out of here. I'm going to call the cops. We have an untrained human in the Costco. Get him out. The amount of times I see people just fucking hanging out. I was like, you're killing me here. You're killing, especially Costco too. I'm going to go on a little tangent here. Costco.
Let's hear it.
It's where the fucking, I wouldn't say the worst of the worst, but you get people that you can tell, you can see it in their faces and the way they move. They're looking for a deal. And the people that are looking for the deal are some of the worst to be around. They think that somehow they're like, I'm getting a deal. I'm getting a deal. And they fucking crowd around the free food kiosks where people are handing stuff out. You'd swear to God they were handing out diamonds or some shit, the way that these people flood around. They're like, oh, red velvet cookie cake. I would love to try a sample of this. And they're like, bah! They just descend upon it. And I'm like, I need to get in this aisle, assholes. And you're always like, free food. I need a deal. I need a deal. It's like, Jesus Christ. The amount of bottled water that people get from there. I'm like, are we in a drought? Is there lead in our water? Why? There's just stacks and stacks and stacks of bottled water. I'm like, that all tastes like shit. What are you doing?
You're right.
But anyway, I digress. If you don't have your own goddamn certificate that says that you've been trained to be in a public space, you can't be there either. I don't care if you have a service dog or whatever. You can't fucking be in there either.
That's right.
Stuff is stupid. Stuff is dumb. Doug hates stuff.
But Doug is also right.
Yes.
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 Yes. Have you encountered the person in Costco? I've encountered this person at grocery stores here where they are, and in the South Loop. At the
that jewel in the South Loop.
The Hellscape Jewel in the South Loop. That place is Dante's Seventh Circle of Hell. It is horrendous. But the people who sit there, and if I'm going to look at a grocery list, like sometimes I'm like, all right, let me see I'm plotting out in my head, like, what's the quickest way to go about this? I'll lean on my cart a little bit, but I'll be off to the side towards the end of the aisle, not blocking as minimal things as I can. I have encountered people who will lean on their cart and look at their phone sideways in the aisle, perpendicular, and they are blocking the entire aisle, just chilling on their cart. Have you encountered these people?
Yeah.
I want to run at them as fast as I can with my cart and play bumper carts.
They suck. And not only that, I want to paint a picture of this jewel you're referencing. Imagine a highly trafficked area in downtown Chicago, and there's a Jewel grocery store that has some of the thinnest goddamn aisles you've ever seen, where, I mean, you'd be lucky if one cart gets through that, let alone two. And it is jam-packed all the time with people. It was my least favorite place to go to ever. If I went there, I used to go there for my full grocery stuff. Then it was like, I'm going to get two things here because that's all, because I can maneuver quickly that way.
And it's laid out so poorly too.
Oh yeah. You have to go upstairs.
Oh man.
And if you have a cart, you're like, gotta take the fucking elevator. Like that shit in the city, I do not miss that at all. Also, this is a weird thing with me. When you use a cart, Justin, how do you use it?
I push it from
interesting
the thick handle, and as I'm approaching what I need, I'll grab it and I'll put it into the cart and I'll continue pushing it.
Cool. So you push it from where the handles are. You don't stand to the right of it and drag it.
Oh, no.
Like it's an unruly 2-year-old child.
No.
I see people who drag their carts and I'm like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Them. They drag them. You've never seen this?
No, I don't. I've seen people stand in the front of the cart and drag it. Are you saying they're dragging it from the handle so the cart is facing the opposite direction?
They'll drag it from the front.
Okay, yes. I have 100% seen. Yes.
I'm like, what are we doing here?
Right.
What? Right. Why? There's a steering wheel up front. Use the steering wheel.
Right.
Because you're creating more space by being off to either side because you just can't pull it with both hands in front of it because you're going to destroy your heels as you're doing it. So you have to stand off to the side to pull it. I'm like,
now
what are you doing?
And a half is what you are. You're taking up a cart and a half's worth of space.
Why are you doing that? Just grab the handle and push it like a normal person. You have lost your ability. You do not have a certification to be in the store. Get out.
Get the fuck out. Yep, absolutely. And the other thing I'll say about this Jewel too, if we're going to go all in on this Jewel, is they have, I believe, I counted 15 checkout things. And at any given point, one of them is actively taking customers. And the self-checkout at any given point, if you're lucky, on a good day, half of them are working.
Yeah.
And it is just, I'm like, why? And it got me thinking, have you ever been in a store, ever, pre-pandemic, like at the height of when we didn't, we had a lot of people working, whatever. Have you ever walked into a grocery store and seen all 15 aisles lit up, or all 11, or every checkout lane? Have you ever walked in and seen even the majority of them, 2/3 of them in use? Because I truly cannot remember a time when I have.
The Jewel where I live is like that. Where most like when it's busy and it needs to be active, it is. When it's not that active, it's not. But I've been there like on the days where it's really busy, and they open up lanes and stuff like that, and things are moving, and I'm pretty impressed with it, actually.
Kudos to them, because I truly don't think, Jewel aside, no matter where, Dominic's when it was around, Mariano's, Meyer, wherever it is, I don't know that I've ever walked into a store at any point in my life and seen the majority, if not all of the things lit up. And it's just, it wasn't until I was older, I finally realized, I'm like, why the fuck do you have this many if you never have them active?
Here's the thing. This is a generational problem. This has been going on for decades. I've heard people complaining about this. When I was a kid, my mom was like, they have all these lanes and they're never open. It's just like, it continues to be a problem. We can't figure it out. We put a man on the moon. We can't figure out how to line up correctly. We don't know how to queue correctly, and we don't know how to do goddamn grocery checkout lanes,
I'm wondering, I'm going to throw this out there, might be a stretch, but I'm wondering if Big Grocery is trying to help bridge the gap between generations. 9:20.
I stopped Justin right in his tracks. Oh, all right. Well, that's how we end that segment. That's been Ask Practical Doug. Woo! Let's get to recommendations. Justin, what do you got to recommend this week?
I'd say just go walk around Jewel and have a good time. Let's see. I am gonna. I think last week I said I was on an old school show kick. I watched a lot of older shows. And last week I said the Larry Sanders Show. This week I'm going to recommend The Sopranos. I've been watching, or The Sopranos, depends on where you're from in the country. But yeah, watch. I for whatever reason, I didn't have HBO when I was younger, so I didn't catch it when it came out. And then when I got older, I just, for whatever reason, anytime I had the opportunity to catch up on it or watch it, I never did. Finally, I was talking to Haig, and I think it was Haig who said, check it out. I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to, and I am full into it now and loving it, absolutely loving it. And it's very hard to not just talk with like a New York Italian mob accent now, because goddamn, it's just a fun show. It's very dated. I'll say that. It's shot very 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, because I think it came out in 98. But I do see why it was the darling of HBO for a long time. So I would say if you're looking to get nostalgic, if you've already seen it and haven't seen it in a while, or if you've never seen it like me, now's the time. Go back and check out Sopranos on HBO Max, soon to be Max.
I too have not seen Sopranos, so No,
there you go.
There you go. Bada bing.
But forget about it.
Forget about it.
Doug, what do you got? What do you want to recommend?
I found something that I'm actually, I thought of you when I was watching it. I'm like, this is I was like, you were on my mind the whole time. I'm like, this is a perfect show for Justin. And I'm shocked.
Was it the About Us video on the Buttress?
You know what? It was that. I recommend watching it. No, I saw this. I was like, I'm shocked that Justin hasn't seen this yet. And it's Ted Lasso on Apple TV Plus. Amazing show. Absolutely amazing show. So good. I'm almost through.
Are you really watching it now?
I'm almost through with season 2 right now. Fantastic show. So good.
It only took how long?
I don't know why you didn't say something
because
earlier.
Of my relentlessness?
I don't know why you didn't say something earlier. I mean, Jesus Christ, this show is fucking awesome, man. It's so good. It's so good.
There's a part of me that feels like you're baiting me into a very long fuck you joke, but I'd like to think you're being honest.
I just trying to gaslight you. So I'm trying to be like, man, how come you never told me about this show? You're like, you know. Seriously, it's fantastic. I love it. It's such a good show. It's awesome, funny and full of heart, and I get why it's gotten all the attention that it gets. It's so good. It's very, very fun and enjoyable, and yeah, it's fucking great. I love it. It's so good.
Woodly woodly woo.
Woodly woodly woo to you too. So yeah, Ted Lasso. I can finally agree with Justin on something.
Thank God. Only took us 8 years.
We finally got there. So
yeah.
Y'all better check that out.
Hanging it up.
And then check us out on all our social medias at MindGap Podcast. Check us out on the YouTubes, youtube.com/MindGap Podcast. Hit those likes, hit those subscribe buttons. All that shit's free. It's free content for you. So just help us back with the likes, subscribes. Drop a comment. Feed that algorithm. Tell us everything you had to feel about the butt pillows, about the boob pillows, about these unnecessary remakes and all that stuff. And also, how do you think about service animals being allowed in public places? Tell us everything you think about it. Everything you need to know. It's great. And if you want to throw some money our way, check us out at patreon.com/MindGapPodcast. Check out our merch at redbubble.com. And then, Discord. Join the Discord. Join the family. And hit that link in the description down below. Join us. Be a part of it. Be a part of history. Because it's true. It's MindGap history. You can be a part of it. And also don't forget to check Justin out online as well.
On Instagram, it's Justin_Michael, spelled Mikel. It's a fun way of spelling it. And while you're in the online realm, check us out on all the places where you can find and consume quality podcasts. We're talking Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, GoodPod, all those places. You can find us. We'd love it if you would rate us, review, subscribe, share, all the things we ask you to do every week. Sharing is the big one. Means a lot, goes a long way. And then 2east8th.com/ nope, just 2east8th.com. I went backwards in time for a second.
Wow, okay.
2east8th.com and 2east8th on all social media, then loveandimprovfilm.com and loveandimprovfilm on Instagram.
Cha-cha-cha. Well, this has been fun. Thank you all for going through the highs and lows of the butts and the boobs and all of our unnecessary comments on unnecessary stuff. So I hope you all have a wonderful week. And with that, I'll say, Justin, thank you.
Douglas, thank you.
Chat, thank you.
Listeners, thank you.
And you all have a dandy fucking week.
MindGap Podcast.